Hey everyone, Tankenstein here, and in this video I've got your very first gameplay and overview of the Boxer MGS, the mobile gun system. This is a currently ranked 7 battle rating 10.3 light tank in the German Ground Forces tech tree, unfortunately not a premium, and is the top reward for the mobile sniper event in War Thunder. Now, that being said, let's kind of go over this thing really quickly. It's got an excellent turret traverse rate, even with my standard crew, 38.9 degrees per second, great vertical guidance of -10 to 42 degrees, and also a 5-second reload, which I think is what most people are excited about. And that reload goes to its DM63 APF SDS, which itself is very, very good. 430 millimeters of armor pen, which for a light tank, something that you're going to be spending a lot of your time flanking enemies with, that will do the trick, trust me. You also have, of course, a laser warning receiver, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it is Gen 3 thermals. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's either Gen 2, Gen 3, but I believe it's Gen 3, just based on how I've seen them. Now, the overall gunner's optics and commander's optics, they're okay, up to 10 times zoom. Not fantastic, but hey, it's something. You also have, of course, a spall liner and some internal anti-frag armor, which is very nice. So overall, I feel like this thing is going to be fairly, well, I don't know if it's going to be decently protected, because I'll show you the armor in just a second, but it'll be decent enough. Plus, it has just shy of a 20-to-1 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio, which is pretty damn good for a wheeled vehicle. So 103 kilometer per hour top speed, so not too bad. Now, when you go into the armor analysis, as you might expect, so this is a composite screen, for example. You have some composite screens around the turret and also around the side here. Even against APF, or Heat FS rather, this does nothing. So let's just say if I were to switch over to, I don't know, like the French NL, right? The CV9035NL, not the best autocannon carrying vehicle. This thing, even with just APDS, will be able to more or less chew the MGS to pieces. So the MGS really is not going to be very well armored. One might be able to deflect some shots or stop some shots with this huge power pack in the front, or maybe like have some limited spall damage via the anti-frag and the spall liners, but I'm not entirely sure how much that's going to be. This thing is pretty much just going to be chewed up. Now, that being said, let's get into a few matches, see how this thing does. Bear in mind that being that this is the very first gameplay, this is a vehicle a lot of people are going to be looking for, either to grind for or later on purchase in the marketplace. I want to give you guys a fair assessment of how I feel that this vehicle is. So this gameplay isn't just going to be like my highlights or something. I'm going to try to show you the realities of owning this thing, of playing this thing, so strengths, weaknesses, so on and so forth. So that said, let's get into a few matches and see how we do. So here we are with the MGS, and as you can see, this thing is gigantic compared to other vehicles. Like, it doesn't look like it would be in the hangar, but yeah, the hangar doesn't really do the size of this thing any justice. Now, we're going to go ahead and just kind of look over here real quick, scout out some early enemies. Can I get a hit? Oh, I can! Wow! I was actually not expecting that, but not too bad. We're going to go ahead and probably just not continue pursuing this guy because he's been tracked, and you know how tracking is. So, that said, not too bad. I mean, as you can see, Gen, 3 thermals is what I'm guessing. Again, I'm not really the best with identifying thermals, although I do have a video that goes over identifying thermals, so if you guys want to check that out. I just kind of forget the specifics. Between Gen 2 Gen 3, it's very difficult for me to be able to tell. Really, anything that's not Gen 1 is good by me. So, that said, overall, the mobility on this thing is pretty good. You know, it's not going to be quite like the, what was it, CTWV RCV for the Japanese ground tech tree insofar as mobility is concerned. However, this thing, as you can see, is still plenty good. Now, the stabilizer conks out at around 75 kilometers per hour. So you're not really going to be able to keep that stabilizer at, you know, at higher speeds. But typically when you're moving at these higher speeds, you're also not going to be firing. So, you know, I mean, it'd be nice. Don't get me wrong, but I'm hitting over 100 kilometers per hour. That's crazy. Okay, so we are moving on. I'm still over 80, even despite that slight ground interference. But overall, thus far, I mean, the turret traverse is pretty good. Not necessarily amazing, but good. Actually, I mean, you know what? It's close to amazing, I'll say that much. It definitely feels quite good. Gotta fire first, gotta fire first. Okay, he hit that. Not a killing blow, thankfully. And we have ourselves an intelligence. And I feel like that's going to be such a huge portion, such a huge part of playing this vehicle, is getting those intelligence assists. Kind of like it should be really with playing any light vehicle. You know, you're not doing your job if you're not getting assist via intelligence, at least in my opinion. Kind of looks like there's a vehicle over here somewhere. Okay, we have an enemy, and he is dead. I'm really nervous, to be honest with you. I would go to help that guy, but he's already being sniped out, so that wouldn't have made much sense. But it seems like we have an enemy over here to my left. I really wish that people on my team would advise on that. It seems like nobody really is in the mood to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna mark the map for you, because that's what good teammates do. Rather, they just kind of don't. So I'm gonna back away here. I don't feel like dying. But that's another problem with this. It's not a tracked vehicle, so it's not going to have a really nice turning radius. It's quite poor. But that's also kind of related to the size of the vehicle as well. Okay, and a kill. Very nice. So, I mean, overall, thus far, this thing has been quite a capable sniper. Again, that DM63 is good. It's good for light vehicles. Insofar as a 105 is concerned, it's one of the better ones around this BR. Not sure if I'd say one of the better in game, but probably, right? Is that another vehicle over there? Maybe. That's an ally. Okay, and we have ourselves another kill. Look at that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the next match. But insofar as sniping is concerned, and mobility, I'm actually quite impressed with this thing. Not the best gunner's optics, though. So, here's the thing. When it comes to the Boxer MGS, you know, it's got the mobile sniper title, but genuinely, this thing is probably much better as a base capper, supporter, and flanker. I'm not saying that it'll be a bad sniper at all, but it only has 10 times zoom for its optics, which is decent, you know, not great, especially for a sniper. It's usable, but it also has... Oh, that's weird. No SIM card inserted. My phone is now telling me I don't have a SIM card inserted. That's unfortunate. So... This vehicle has Gen 3 thermals, if I'm not mistaken. Again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. I'm a little bit of a thermal idiot. And it's very nice in that regard. Ooh, got the commander and gunner. That's fun. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Cannon breach. And not a kill. Okay, I'm gonna just shoot right there then. I don't know what the hell this guy... Oh, okay, he's an Abrams player. That makes sense. But in general, I mean... Ooh, very nice! Like I said, this... Ooh, come on! I was hoping. A man can hope and dream, right? So, this thing is better as a flanker, base capper, that sort of thing, rather than a sniper, at least in my opinion. It's got good sniping chops, so to speak. Again, good ammunition, good cannon. Good reload rate for follow-up shots. However, better snipers tend to have higher... Oh, I'm getting lasered by someone. Better snipers tend to have a better zoom. Better snipers tend to have a whole lot more, right? Like, they have a little bit better armor pen. They have better zoom. Whatever else. This thing, in my opinion, would be much better as a... Oh, that's something I forgot to buy. Were crew members. So, this thing is just more suited for, at least again, in my opinion, it's more suited for flanking and base capping. It's not suited for sniping, if that makes any sense. Like, it'll snipe perfectly well. It's just, again, I think that base capping is probably going to be its true call, or flanking rather, is going to be much more of a true calling than than sniping. Sorry for talking in circles. That whole SIM card thing just threw me off. It just said, your SIM card isn't detected. I'm like, what? Never happened in my entire life until I started recording this match. We have someone coming up. Okay, he is obviously right there. So I'm going to move up. Got a nice hit and whatever. Very nice. That's against a Namer. It's not the least armored vehicle in the world. I'm going to probably die coming out of this smoke, however. I can't imagine my life will be all too long. Okay, we have an enemy, and he is toast. BMP3 dead. We have another enemy over here. Let's pre-plan with that. And we died. Not too bad, though. So, again, I want to show you guys, like, how this thing can perform in a number of situations. And, again, I feel like as a flanker, as a base capper, it will be ideal. But, in general, I feel like it's a pretty flexible vehicle because, again, it can do a whole bunch of things, except for, I guess, kind of brawling if you're not going to be hit, but that's kind of part of the whole thing. Like, if you're brawling, you should expect to be hit, and this thing cannot take a hit. So that said, let's get into another match, see what we can do. Maybe it'll be the last match, who knows? But thus far, I'm kind of impressed. Oh, in case you're wondering, yes, the Commander does get the same great optics, thermals rather, and optics, I guess, as what you can expect with the Gunner. So, it does work both ways. Okay, we have an enemy, got the track. Hopefully he doesn't see me. He does. But we have the kill, which is really what matters. Very nice. MBT-70, not too bad. So, what do I feel about this vehicle? In general, I feel like it's good. Very good, as a matter of fact. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, man, he just kind of shot me a little bit negatively. Okay, and we have ourselves a second kill against another MBT-70. So, this vehicle, it is very good. I feel like it's going to be... people ask me all the time, like, oh, what do you think that this should be on the marketplace? I don't feel like this is an Object 292 level vehicle, right? Like, this is not that level of vehicle. But if you're a flanker, and you really appreciate good thermals, honestly... This thing, I mean, insofar as a scout is concerned, flanker is concerned, that sort of, like, fast-moving vehicle, this is a hell of a fun vehicle. I feel like it's genuinely good. I could see it going up in BR to 10.7. I'm not entirely sure if it will, or when it will. You know, it might not be anytime soon, but it is a heck of a good vehicle. Now, it has no armor, so don't expect this thing to be able to take a lot of hits. At least I scouted him. Another MBT-70. I was about to fire. But let's just go ahead and respawn real quick. Oh, wow. He got me with an HE. Or Hesh. One or the other. Something like that. But in general, I do feel like this is a very good vehicle. It's just so tough, right? Like, what do you say? Like, oh, it's worth this much, that much. It's probably going to go on sale, I would imagine. People are going to probably put it up for like 50-ish to start, maybe 55. I'm not really a big fan of the fact that this is not a premium, so you're not going to get any real benefit from having this thing, like grinding through the tech tree. With it, there's no additional benefit to this. This is really just a lineup filler, and in that regard, as a lineup filler, yeah, it's really, really good. But if you're expecting a grinder from it, I wouldn't buy it. Like, if you only have like rank 2, rank 3 in the German ground tech tree, this thing is not worth it. It's worth it, like, if you are going to be adding it to an already functional or at least semi-functional lineup, but otherwise, it's not really worth it. So, yeah, I mean, I could see it being like 50, 60 bucks. Personally, I'm not one to want to spend more money than 50 bucks on the marketplace, but that's just me. So, yeah, I mean, nice. So, I do feel like this is definitely a very good vehicle. I feel like this is one of the better event vehicles that we've had in a very long time. That 5-second reload mixed with that very nice, though not necessarily amazing, DM63 is worth it. So, yeah, I mean, this is definitely a worth it vehicle. If you're just about to finish the grind for it, yeah, it's definitely worth it. I would snap this thing up before it goes on the marketplace, because once it goes on the marketplace, prices are going to be way higher than what it probably should be for it. And again, I wouldn't really personally pay more than $50 for this thing. Just, again, because it's not a premium. But it is what it is. You know, it's still a really, really good vehicle for what it is. So, that said, barring any further action, thanks for watching. I definitely do appreciate all the views. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me over the last few years. Genuinely, it all does really mean the world to me. So, thanks for watching, guys, and let's see what happens here. But I don't know if we're going to get any more action. Yeah, this match is pretty much over. I don't see it. I don't see anything else happening here. So, with that said, thanks. Can I get the kill? Yeah, I can. So, with that said, thanks so much for watching. Unfortunately, it wasn't me who got it, but good job, ZAFIOMQMQEX, for getting that, that nuke. But thanks for watching, everyone. Like, I mean, again, I'm actually genuinely surprised by how much, one, that I like this thing, but two, by how good it really actually is. It's a very potent vehicle. So, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all on the other side. I think this match is pretty much over. And there's the nuke. Take care, everyone.